Hey boys and girls, what's up? It's the Black Avenger, aka the Black Azrael Lee Sanders of the RCWR show and Impact Showdown Live, welcoming you to this cool kick-ass review for the new Black Sabbath 13 album. Now I know this album is not supposed to be coming out until this Tuesday, June 11th in North America, but it doesn't stop yours truly from getting in contact with a few people he knows in the music industry and asking for an advance copy to hear. Special shout out to my hookup. I appreciate that. Oh man, I know that iTunes, they have this streaming for free. You get to do a little bit of a preview before you buy it, and I think that's a really cool concept. I'm not sure if it's just a standard album that you guys are able to hear in its entirety, as that's pretty much 8 tracks, about 60 plus minutes, maybe about 65 minutes. The album that I'm going to be reviewing for you guys is the deluxe edition. And in this one, you get 8 tracks basically on one disc, and then you get a bonus disc of 3 tracks. That's all new studio recordings to complement the first disc. And let me just say, this album totally fucking kicks ass. Oh, this is one of those albums you can just play, pump that volume up loud, grab your crotch, and I don't care if you're a male or a female. If you love hard rock and all things metal, this is definitely one of those albums that's just going to have you grab your crotch and you're just going to say, damn, this shit, it fucking rocks. And you know, this album, the 19th studio album by Black Sabbath, talk about a thunderous return. It is the first album to feature Ozzy Osbourne on lead vocals since 1978's Black Sabbath album, Never Say Die. And this is also the first album to be produced by legendary producer Rick Rubin. This guy has just a A-list of who's who of talent that he has worked with, and no doubt in my mind, this album, I'd be shocked if it does not win a Grammy for Best Hard Rock Album of the Year. That's just how badass this album is. Now, true story, this album has been in the making since 2001. So, what's that? Almost 13 years there that this album has been in development. But, you know, early on, it came to a screeching halt because, as you all may be aware, for those of you that might not be aware, Ozzy Osbourne, he got pulled away from working on this album to go put the finishing touches on his 2001 Down to Earth album. And then, of course, he had the Osbourne Show that was just a huge hit that went on for a few seasons. The surviving members of Black Sabbath, minus Bill Ward, they would eventually go on and they would do a compilation package called Black Sabbath The Dio Years with the late James Ronnie Dio. And eventually what manifested out of that box set, as they did 3 new recordings for that, they ended up touring and calling themselves Heaven and Hell, and that had just went successfully well up until 2010, when unfortunately James Rio, he lost his life due to cancer. Just terrible way to go out, but he went out in a blaze of glory. And you know, it's just funny how everything just kind of came back full circle, because after the Down to Earth album, Ozzy Osbourne would end up working on another follow-up album to that. It was 2007's Black Rain, and then released in the UK in 2010. Ozzy would release Scream, and that had just did phenomenally well. And eventually everything just came together full circle to begin production for this album, as production officially had begun in August of 2012. And you know, we saw a lot of trials and tribulations just continue to come into fruition as these boys were just trying to get this album up and running and recording it. Bill Ward, original drummer, being very difficult with the bandmates, citing that he would love to team up with them, but that he wants a contract that is basically signable, as it all comes down to the dollar bills. And they just really did not have time to deal with his stuff, especially when guitarist Tony Imani, he was battling health problems. Looked like he had a little bit of a health scare with lymphemia. And as a result of that, it was pretty much a let's do this now, or we may not ever have the chance to do this again type of mentality. So with or without Bill, they just went on ahead and said, you know what, we're going to be okay. We're going to keep on going. We don't have time to deal with this crap. Hey, you're more than welcome to maybe join us down the road, but it is what it is. We're going on without you. And, and they made up for Bill Ward, I mean, my honest opinion, in a huge way, as they had acquired the services of Rage Against the Machine drummer and Audio Slave drummer Brad Wilk, who is just a phenomenal freaking drummer. And this album, man, we finally got it, and oh, it is just so good. I'm looking at the track list right now for you guys, and I love the opening track, End of the Beginning. That just really reels you in, with Brad just doing his thing on the guitar, correction, on the drums, and he's just smacking away at it. And then you got Tony come in, and he's just doing his thing on the guitar. It's just freaking awesome. And then you just go to probably one of my most favorite tracks of the entire album, God Is Dead. Nice, almost 9-minute, just in your face, ugly. This is ball slamming up against the walls type of metal music. Loner, Zygest, great slow track. Kind of had a little bit of a throwback vibe as I was listening to it. Kind of had me go back to their Paranoid album, as it just kind of had shades of some of their earlier work from that album. If there was one track I would try to maybe pinpoint, it kind of had just a little touch of a vibe of maybe Planet Caravan. Kind of reminded me just a little bit of that almost, but a unique track in itself. I'm looking at the rest of the tracks for this album. Age of Reason, Live Forever, Damaged Soul, Dear Father. I mean, every single damn track. You can't shit on this album. There is not one track, and I came into this listening to it for the first time, and I'm just kicking back. I'm trying to figure out, okay, what track is working, what track maybe doesn't belong here, but every single track just fucking rocks. It belongs. It's like just one big, beautiful masterpiece of just everything hard rock and metal. And just when I thought I was done with the 8-track Dear Father, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, we've seen some artists, they try to do this whole bonus content thing, deluxe edition. They have 2-3 tracks that didn't make it onto the official studio release, and they're trying to release it like a deluxe edition. And then usually you kind of kick back and say, well, it's kind of good that this is deluxe, because these 3 tracks or 2 tracks, it doesn't really belong. But even when you get to the 3 bonus tracks that's included in the deluxe edition of this album, Methodemic, Peace of Mind, Fiera, they all just compliment the hell out of the original 8-track album. And if I were to tell you guys to go for a specific album to get that overall experience, I would definitely say go for the deluxe album. I would even go a step further and to say pick up the Best Buy deluxe edition, since they're giving you 4 bonus tracks. So basically you'll have 12 tracks total. I would say go for that. It's worth the money. I've never heard the last song that is to complement the album overall, but my money is for certain that that's going to be a kick-ass track. I'm sure somebody is probably going to be doing a review of that. song in particular and give you guys the final verdict on if you need to check out that respected deluxe edition. But I just say go in blind. It's worth it. That's just how strong I feel about this. And I got to give a brutally honest rating for this. Out of a scale of 1 to 10, I have to give this album an honest 10 out of 10. This is just really one of those great comeback albums from the metal gods themselves. I know a lot of people are on the fence about Mr. Ward not being able to participate in the recording of this new album, and there's many that are divided amongst you all with that. But honestly, once you get your hands on this album, it's going to be the least thing on your mind. I mean, you've got 3/4 of one of the greatest bands in hard rock and metal history doing their damn thing, and talk about just transcending time. I mean, you just think about the last studio album that Black Sabbath had put out, which had featured Tony Martin on vocals. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the name of that particular album was, don't quote me on it. I know it was a terrible I know it was a terrible album though. I want to say it was maybe 1995's Forbidden, and they were trying to fuse that whole Run DMC hard rock type thing, and Ice-T was doing his thing on some vocals. I know that was just a horrific album that they had did. You know, that just completely blows that and pretty much all the other Black Sabbath albums that I've come across, because I'm a hardcore Black Sabbath fan. I would have to put the 13 album right up there with my personal 3. I definitely would have to put it right up there at number 1, and number 2 being the Paranoid album. It's that damn good. For those of you that might be a little bit curious what my number 3 Black Sabbath album is, I definitely would have to say Master of Reality. But that's the order that I would do this. I would definitely say this album is a must buy. Get your hands on this. If you have not listened to the preview stream in iTunes, that's good for you. I say just go in running blind. If you're a Black Sabbath fan, this will definitely welcome you with open arms. This is one of those albums that you will, after you listen to it the first time, you're going to be saying to yourself, this is an album I need to make sure that I have in constant rotation on my iPod. I gotta have this album on there. You're always going to keep coming back to it. I definitely promise you guys on that. And definitely I would highly recommend you guys see these boys on tour whenever they get ready to do their thing, because who knows, it may be the very last time we see these guys. Ain't no telling how long it's going to be before we get another Black Sabbath album with such a great lineup. And I'm just going to go ahead and say a classic lineup at that. Brad Wilk, he's an established drummer. He's done such phenomenal work with Rage and Audio Slave. He truly is deserving to be working with legendary artists like these guys. But definitely check out the album. Hey, I definitely would love to hear what you think about this new album by Black Sabbath. Feel free to leave those comments down below. And hey, we'll definitely follow up on the comments that you all submit on a future weekend edition of the RCWR show. You'll actually be able to catch that over at blogtalkradio.com/the RCWR show. You'll also eventually be able to catch a uploaded version of it on our YouTube channel. And hey, if this was your first time checking out this video, landing on our channel, I welcome you. I'd love to have you subscribe to us so that you never miss out on all the great content that we put up here on a weekly basis, as we talk a little bit about wrestling. Of course, we talk about the very latest in entertainment and music. We just go all over the place over here. So we got a little bit of something for everybody over here. But definitely when you guys get to hear the album, let me know what you think. If you disagree with anything that I've said. I definitely wouldn't mind hearing from you. If you have a different take on this album, maybe you don't think too positively of it, I definitely would love to hear your thoughts of it, and let's help the hard rock metal community out with our overall conscious, our overall feeling on what we think about this new album. But being one of the first people to review this early before it comes out, I definitely would have to say, no doubt in my mind, that this is definitely the hard rock, hard metal album of the year. I expect this album to win a lot of awards this year. That's just how damn good this album is. I'd be a little bit shocked if they got stiffed for another Justin Bieber or all that other sick, silly shit that's out there. Stupid shit at that. But yeah, hit that subscribe button. If you like this review for the album, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you end up giving it a thumbs down, hey, I don't mind that. Just let me know why you're giving it a thumbs down. And yeah, that's going to do it. I'm the Black Avenger, Lee Sanders, wishing you all to be safe and be kind to one another, folks. I'll see you next time around. Everybody, take care.